Welcome to Board Gaming with Austin. Today, I am going to be doing a board game review video and going over the components of Skytopia in the Circle of Time by the company Roast and Toast Games. It is a 2 to 4 player game, plays in 40 to 60 minutes, and is for robots aged 14 and up. First off, I like how right on the front of the box it shows you everything you need to know, and you can find it right away. We've got some beautiful art on this box created by these people up here. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the components of this game, and then I'm going to be talking about the components quality, the direction quality, and the gameplay as well. Then at the very end, I'm going to give you my opinions on each part of this game. All right, so what I like to begin with is the directions. So here's the Skytopia directions. I like to go straight inside of those directions and look at the components that come with the game. All right, so here's the components in this game. It comes with 4 floating city boards. That's going to be these player boards right here, and I'll show you closer an image of them. That's that side. The other side is beautiful clouds. Then we have 4 double-sided ability tiles. That's going to be these right here. We have 48 tower cards. That's going to be these cards right here. These cards, I always like to mention right off the bat if the card quality is nice. And those are really nice card quality. They're plastic coated. Beautiful cards. There's 12 Guildmaster tiles, which are all right here. Each have their own image. Each type Guildmaster has their own image and beautiful art of the character design on the other side. It's got a steampunk feel to it. There's 1 chronometer, which is this unique piece right here where you actually have to, you just put it together, but you punch it out and then put it together with the plastic pieces it gives you, and they actually rotate. And this is one of the most interesting components of the game and has the most interesting mechanic of this game. There's a double-sided score track, which is right here. One side is beautiful clouds, and then they actually give you another side of it, which allows you, if you're more comfortable with that style, plain, straight to the point style. And then we have 20 golem dice. That's these dice right here. If you're a big fan of dice, they're average dice, not custom or anything, but they've got plenty of dice. And those are actually used to display the amount of work, what work level the golems are at when you place them in the market. There's 45 tokens. Those are just right there, nothing fancy. They're cardboard. There's 4 city markers for scoring prestigious points. These are these little flag tokens right here. Again, nothing fancy about these. And then you have 1 starting player marker, which is this little blimp, and it comes with a little stand, but I like to put it on its side so you can see easier. It comes with 4 reminder cards or game player aids with a couple bits of information on one side and your iconography on the other side. And then it comes with the rule book, which in your hands, it says. Yes, the rule book in your hands. All right. So based on quality of these components, I give this component quality a 4.5 for this game. The main reason for that is the cardboard pieces could be a little thicker. They're not flimsy by any means, but they could be thicker. I played with other thicker cardboard components. The other reason is this gameplay aid is nice on this side where the iconography is, but this side was almost pointless to me. It does give you some nice remember points, but they're just bullet points and not really anything that you would have looked at. I kept finding myself going back to the directions. But the quality, although it's a 4.5, doesn't mean anything unless it has a bad gameplay. This game actually is really fun. I love the gameplay in this game. I give the gameplay a straight 5, and I'll actually get to how you do a quick rundown of your turns at the very end of the game. Sorry, at the very end of this video, and just know that's a 5-star. The directions, I did mention I had to keep going back to the directions. It's because the directions are actually pretty good. I give them a 4.5 because there's a few components. When you open up the direction booklet, I don't like the layout that they give you. So right off the bat, they tell you the goal of the game, and I love when games do that. But then they start telling you different components of the game. So the floating cities, how the tower cards work, the golems, the chronometer. They tell you how everything works, then you start setting up your game. I don't like that layout because there's information in these sections that you forget when you're starting to set it up. And then when you get through setup, it shows you how to play phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. And you get to phase 2, and there's a section that talks about something that you would have read at the beginning of this booklet, but you would have forgotten about. So you're sitting there beating yourself up because you're like, well, where's this piece of information? It's not here. Am I rereading this? Directions wrong? And then from there on, it actually is really good. They get, the end of the round, the end of the game. And it's, really fun. Easy game. So I give the directions a 4.5. That would put the total score of this game at like 4.75 or 4.65 probably. So with the ratings of 0 to 5, I would give this game a 5-star rating. So now I'll give you my personal opinion and rundown of this game and my experience. I played it with my significant other. We like to get a good several games in before we review the games. So how you play Skytopia is you have these different islands, and you want to be the number 1 city, capital city of the floating islands. So your goal is to build the best towers in the city. And you do that by sending your golems out to work on these different towers that will be here in the market. So they'll be flipped up like that, and you'll be playing these golems to these cards. There'll be 1 row of cards per player and 1 color in each row. And you'll be sending these golems out at different levels based on the costs here. So when the die hits this construction symbol, then that tower is built. So if you have a 1 level golem here on this tower, then you would build that tower as soon as this 1 hits the construction symbol. At the end of every round, you're moving this clockwise 1 space. So when you're putting your golems out, you determine how close to construction you want to get them built by paying that many gold. Then, as they're rotating around, when your dice, which for the most part doesn't change, once you place it down, it for the most part doesn't change unless you have a card ability that allows you to rotate the dice. But once this dial gets to that pipot that's face up, then you build that on your turn. And you place that castle on your island. And then you're racking up points by, some of the cards have point values on them that give you points at the end of the game. The towers activate and give you tons of gold and other abilities. All the cards kind of interact with each other at that point. And then you have some victory tracks up here where you're also tracking your point values that you're gaining from the cards. The cards have point values on them that you get immediately. Some of the cards have point values that you get at the end of the game. These here have some point values. You can pay 1 gold and get 1 victory point. These guild master tiles, which I don't have laid out, you're going to be playing with 3 of these in game throughout the whole game, and they have scoring at the end of the game depending on what they say. So for this, it says for each pair of red and purple towers on your island, you get 3 victory points per pair at the end of the game. So there was enough in this game for you to not be bored, not feel like there's only a couple things to do. There was always, all right, which golem do I want to place out now? Because you have to place a golem every single turn. What tower do I want to start building? Okay, what are these guild master tokens or requirements? How can I start stacking some cards down here to where I'm like building a train? Because you're kind of building trains, doing like a train mechanic here on these islands. And then you have your dice that everyone loves. So again, I recommend this game. It's a 5-star from me, and I hope you guys go out and buy it.